random running into Tyler the Creator at my favorite record store here in LA called Amoeba. I gave him my number. I'm a huge Tyler the Creator fan. I never thought nothing else about it. We hadn't hooked up and hadn't done anything, but I forgot that I gave him my number. And then this is probably like I want to say like 2015, maybe 2016 that happened, the chance meeting with Tyler. Cut to 2020, and I get a phone call, and it's Kanye West calling me. And I didn't believe it, and I hung up on him, of course. And then and he calls back, and he goes, "No, it's really Ye." And he's like, Tyler the Creator gave me your number. Then I remembered, oh shit, I really did give Tyler the Creator my number. So it made sense. So he asked me to come out to his place and be a part of the creation of a recreation of Week and Rain. And I thought, yeah. And so the cool thing was that somebody who I love and respect her talent immensely is my girl, Nikki Greer. So once I knew Nikki Greer was involved in arranging it, I was all in. So I went out there, and there they were, putting it together. Kanye had me part of the listening and process of them doing it. It was amazing. And it's amazing. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. And I love that they did it. And I think they did a brilliant job. Shout out to Phil the Keys. Shout out to Jason, the choir director, that was all about putting it in the form that you hear. Now there's the dope house version that uses what you just played and is insane. So I'll try to get that for you so you can post it with this, because it's ridiculous. It just came out last year. So we're already 3 years from when this happened, 4 years now from when that happened, to even now people are still making new versions based on that gospel performance. So again, Rain is the gift that keeps on giving. I love it. Rick Ross covered it on his thing with Summer Walker on his last album. Man, Chingy had a hit with.
This is what I was about to ask you about. Yes, that's what I was going to ask you about.
I was just waiting for that one.
I'm going to play that next. I'm going to play that next, but let's give it back to Brian. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
That's it. I'm just saying, Rain, something that ended up being a sore spot, because I wanted it to be. I wrote it for Brandy. I put it on Brandy at the time that I put it out as like revenge for them not putting out my singles on the previous album. But the universe had other plans, and I think Rain has almost surpassed Week in the form of financial blessings and the way that it's come back around. So even tell you, like Bryson Tiller, Chris Brown and Tyga, Rick Ross, it's just amazing, man. Acapella version from my man Avery Wilson, who did that acapella and then had the internet going crazy 2 summers ago when everybody was pretending that it was their vocals, but it was Avery doing it acapella. Kanye with this. It's just crazy, bro.
Wow.
So shout out to Layla for being the beginning of all of that.
It's crazy how everything just ties together. So now you said that, Kanye called you, you went down to work on this. Can you go into detail, like so of course this is your song, right? We know you wrote the song and everything, but you said that you was actually hands-on with this song. So what exactly was your contribution to the song in addition to you writing the song?
I think Kanye just wanted my blessing in the form of my physical being there while it was being created, which is fine, because we were also working on other stuff. Or he put me with other producers to do new stuff too. It wasn't just to do those things. He put me with one of my favorite producers, Cosign, and we made other stuff from other songs that I got. Like Kanye was more interested in, hey, what else you got that we can build on and do stuff. So I think it was not just to have me there for that, but he had a plan to do other things, for other records. So that's why I took a joint that I love on Coco's solo album called Bigger Than We that I wrote. And me and Cosign put some shit together to that. Like it was more than just those things that happened. So I think it was an overall just a vibe that he wanted to do with me.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, I don't know if you remember this, right? But on Instagram, there was a choir that it wasn't Kanye's choir, but they were singing this song, and I think I tagged you in it, and I said, written and produced by it, right? And if you're not a music head, if you don't read the album credits, right, you're not gonna know, okay, Brian Alexander Morgan wrote and produced it, so you're gonna think, oh, it's an SWV song, and just end story. That's that. Does how does it make you feel when people don't? Cause I don't care what anyone says. I think recognition is good. When you do something great, it's good to have a bit of recognition, right? Has that ever been like a issue for you when people don't know that you did this stuff, or are you just happy to play the background and just if you know, you know, if you don't, you don't?
That's an interesting question, and let me tell you why it has been an issue for me recently. Before I would have said answer that question with, nah, I don't care. I get my checks. Nobody, it's no big deal. I'm still getting paid. I don't care who's doing what. But here's the thing that just happened recently. Um, there's a internet person who put it, who used it, and they're playing like a lot of keyboard dudes like to play Rain as their thing that they're reflipping, and I love that. Honestly, some of my best and like man, some of the dopest keyboard players are doing that using Rain, right? So I am never mad at creators and content creators that are using Rain to do anything really. But in this instance, there's so many other people that always say SWV and Brian Alexander Morgan. They give me my props on that, right? This particular person had a gang of views on this joint and just absolutely refused to tag me, right? So I just said
that's the one I tagged you with. I think that's what we're talking about in the same video.
I don't know. Well, this is you talking about a choir. I'm talking about an individual.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Continue.
So this person, they tagged me later on after I got at them but my point is in the original thing where they got all the attention, they had tagged SWV, they tagged Taj, Coco, Lila. I'm like, tag the creator, please. Just tag the creator. And they didn't for hella long. And it was crazy to me. So it really irritated me in that moment. So I say to people, how much time does it take to tag or give the person who created whatever you're using the proper credit is all. It's no big deal. That's it.
No, I agree. Cause I mean, as you can tell by my page, like I really appreciate what producers do. I feel like they're the unsung heroes. I mean, in most cases they literally own 50% of the song, but
right.
but most cases is the artist that gets 100% of the praise. You know, so
here's the thing. Sometimes people who don't really understand or know. That's why I said what I said in this interview about how I created Rain, because you get in some of these comments and on these pages, and people like to pretend that they're knowledgeable about stuff, and they'll say that's just this or that's just that without any kind of concept of how it got put together. Or they think that simplistically, they think that just because you interpolated something, that's your whole impetus for the whole thing. And that's why and how you created it. So when I broke this down to you about how I created Rain, it's for people like that who need to go do a little research before they jump online saying that, any kind of that energy like that. Nah, this joint existed before the Jocko, and I added the Jocko to it. So let this interview be the thing that sets that straight. And then not only did I add it, you can't just add it in its original form because that's not enough to work with. So I had to create the things that made that work. And so to try to reduce what I did to that's just taken from Jocko is an insult to my creative process.
See, that what you just said there, I'm gonna put that in a video, man. I'm gonna put it on Instagram, like set the record straight.
Facts. It's an insult to do to make all of that even come together the way that it did. And that's not ego, and that's not me being a dick. That's just me telling the truth about how it was created.
No, you don't feel need to explain it. I understand, like, we're all human here, right? If you put hard work into something, you just want the truth to be said about it. You don't want their efforts to be reduced or to be minimalized,
And that's kind of my answer to your question is people like to jump on there and try to minimize what I really did in that instance of that record. And it's like, and even famous people that I respect have done it and on and said it out of their mouths. Like this person or who I love and respect said, hey, they just took that Jocko. I wonder if they compensate. What? No, A, compensated for sure, but B, no, there's creativity involved in how I made that thing be what it is. So let's not minimize contributions of what is what. And then when you're on stage using the very thing you're talking shit about, really? Come on, man.
No, for sure. Okay, so then let me what was I gonna say? Let me play the Chingy song real quick, because that was also interpolated
Yeah.
in this song.